You're being fed all kinds of things, thoughts, words, phrases, thoughts, words, phrases, opinions, right? And so when you take a moment to say, hold on, wait, shh, everybody shh, shh. And it's empty and it's clear and your mind is just totally empty. Then you can really determine which things do I even want in here and which things do I want to take out, right? And then you can start to see for the first time. I think, peace family, it is Christina, and today I wanted to talk about clearing your mind by getting off social media, stop watching the news, getting off all of this stuff that's feeding your mind, getting off all that music, getting off all that everything, so that you can be free and clear, hear your own thoughts, and really find out who you really are outside of all of the chatter. So before we start, as always, I love you guys so much. All of these videos are to uplift myself, first of all, and to uplift at least one person. If it's 10 people, if it's 100, if it's 1,000, if it's 1,000,000, I'm grateful. And as always, I want to share with you my prayers and well wishes for life, love, joy, peace, and prosperity. And with that, let's go into the video. So when I was at the beginning of my spiritual journey, I took a break from all media. And when I say all media, I stopped watching the news completely. I got rid of my television, I got rid of cable. I literally did not really know what was going on in the world. And so I think the first thing is when you start to remove all of the media out of your life, you get out of your echo chamber, you get out of the hive, right? If you know about hive minds, you get out of the hive for the first time and you get to really think about, you know, what are my own organic thoughts? A lot of times with media, news, even YouTube, social media, we are fed the thoughts that different groups want us to have. So on a particular topic, people, I mean, and this is literally what they do, the news, the politicians, they will craft a narrative and then they will distribute that narrative. And then people who are like news anchors, people who are like politicians and things like that will have an established narrative. This is what we as a group are going to collectively say about this. And then the other side will say, this is what we as a group will collectively say about this. And then what you're hearing is not these individual people's organic thoughts. What you're often hearing is crafted narratives about certain things that they are told to say, right? Or that they've decided that this is what we're going to say. And they say it so that, you know, everyone will believe it. A lot of times when we're younger, we just kind of take that in and then spit it out. Oh, I heard that this is that, and you spit it out. But when you don't hear that at all, you can't even hear it. You're not listening for it. You kind of turn that radio off, you turn that TV off, and then someone were to just bring up an idea of that topic, you might organically have a totally different opinion about it if no one had ever given you or fed you anything about it, right? The music is a second category of this, where the music that we listen to will have a lot of messages in the song. And then you get the song stuck in your head. It's like, before you even think about what it's really saying, you kind of get the song stuck in your head and you're like, you know, bop into it. And then your words that you say in regular conversation might start to mirror the things that you heard in these songs. And so fascinatingly, a lot of us are not even aware of it, right? When you're not listening to a lot of music, you're not picking up on those vibrations. And the reality is, especially in pop music, I'm not talking about classical music, I'm not talking about like most jazz and stuff like that, but I mean especially music with words, you know, the music itself has messages in an energetic vibration. So if you're listening to like a song, even if you can't really make out what they're saying, if they're talking about, you know, shooting at people and like this bee, you know, I want you to, you know, F that bee, you know, even if you're not consciously thinking about what it says, like F that bee is in your head and it feels more and more okay. That language feels more and more okay. And then you start to kind of align yourself with that vibration, right? So instead of saying like women are beautiful, women are, you know, amazing, women are a gift, if the narrative about women is F that B, even if you might not organically feel that way, it's a phrase that's now lodged into your consciousness. And you may subconsciously either say that or treat women in that way because that's just the phrase that's kind of gotten in there. And the longer that you go without hearing those things, you know, it's like you become increasingly empty-minded, right? You're not feeding that anymore into the brain. And so it becomes increasingly clear. And that's kind of what I'm saying. So like everything you watch is feeding something into your brain. Everything you listen to is feeding something into your brain. So subconsciously, for all the years of your life, you're feeding this, feeding that, feeding this, right? You're being fed all kinds of things, thoughts, words, phrases, opinions, right? And so when you take a moment to say, hold on, wait, shh, everybody shh, shh. And it's empty and it's clear and your mind is just totally empty. Then you can really determine which things do I even want in here and which things do I want to take out, right? And then you can start to see for the first time. I think a lot of people have been in like and it's not our fault. Like I'm not blaming anybody, I'm not blaming myself. It's just something that the result of the media, the overwhelming media that we have now, right? Like in my mom's generation, they didn't have social media, they didn't have Facebook, they didn't have Instagram, they didn't have TikTok, they didn't even really have like, they had television, but it wasn't, they weren't watching television all day about everything in the same way that we are now. They had other things to do, right? And there weren't as many shows on TV. They didn't have YouTube with every single person talking about their opinion, right? There was a little bit more clear-headedness. And I think a lot of us, the younger ones of us, have gotten so stuck on constantly being bombarded with just, you know, advertisement, song, music, social media, TikTok, you know? And it's become standard that a lot of people are starting to have increased levels of ADHD, mental illness, and it's because their mind has become so packed with just stuff that they don't know what it's like to just sit quietly, like, and have a clear mind, and to just, you know, sit here and not do anything, just sit peacefully, you know, and be quiet, because their mind is just filled with junk. And so it's the same thing like if you were to eat a bunch of junk food, you know, your body starts to be filled with junk. And what do? You have to exercise and get that weight off. You have to exercise to clear your arteries. You have to do things to get it out. And so all that I'm advocating for is that we just take some time to get off everything. Get off social media for a time, get off the news for some time, get off YouTube, get off of everything so that you can hear clearly, what do you really feel about everything? What do you really want, you know? What is your purpose? What does, you know, if you're spiritual, what does God want you to do, right? If you believe in God, what are you hearing from God? When we have so much bombarding into our head, all we're hearing is just music and running in our head, and we're hearing about, you know, thinking about what this news station said, and we're angry about this and angry about that. But once we clear all that out of the way, then you can finally start to have peace and start to have clarity about what it is that you really want out of life. And it's outside of what people have told you to want or told you to believe. It's that you can really start to listen to your heart space and be in this clear-headed place where you can hear for the first time what your heart's really saying to you. And so I just think that's super important. And it was really beneficial for me. There were a couple of years where I really didn't watch anything. And I remember, like, recently I've been watching a lot of YouTube again. I just started watching YouTube again just a few months ago. And I've been watching it a lot because I'm like, what's going on in the world, right? Like, I want to kind of hop back in and see where everyone's at. What y'all doing? What y'all been doing for the past few years? I've been out here doing yoga and meditating and just kind of like, you know, just kind of like minding my little business. And I'm come back and I'm like, oh, there's a migrant crisis been happening for the past year. Like, I didn't know, you know? And so, but I think sometimes you have to do that so you can just clear that space. And now I feel, as you see me posting every day, active again and ready to kind of come back into the world. And you can do that with a fresh, clean slate and a fresh, clean mind. And so I'm going to come back with part 2 of this, which is going to be stop consuming to start creating. So once we clear our head of all the mind chatter and all the things that have been bombarded into your head, it's just dumped in there, right? Once you can kind of like just let that just disappear, right? Let it disappear. Then I think it can be a really interesting space to start creating. And so if you see how creative I've been over the past couple of years, like I said, I've made a magazine. If you ever go to my website, Liveology Yoga Studios, you will see so much content that in the absence of input, I had to find something to do. And so I also started making products, body care products and malas and all that kind of stuff. And so how getting rid of all of that extra stuff can help you to actually be a lot more creative and to create something of your own. And so as always, I love you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.